Alright, now let's look at some binomial products. So binomial, bi means two, products and multiplying, so we're multiplying two brackety stuff. So remember from last year the technique to expand two brackety stuffs, so expanding brackets, we use the technique FOIL. So first, outer, inner, last. We also had some special patterns that we recognize. In particular, a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A minus b squared is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And a plus b, a minus b is the same as a squared minus b squared. Now, if you can remember these patterns, it's great. If not, your default go-to method is always the FOIL trick, because that will always work for us. Now, let's do some examples. Example 1, let's expand and simplify. So let's expand and simplify. Brackets 2 root 5 minus 1 times 3 root 5 plus 4. So two brackety things multiplied by each other. The default way to go is just to FOIL it. So multiply the first term first. So that's 2 root 5 times 3 root 5. And then we need to do the outer, O for outer. So that's 2 root 5 times a 4. And then we need to do the inner one. So then it's negative 1 lots of 3 root 5. And then we need to do the last terms, which is negative 1 times 4. Now let's simplify. So 2 times 3 in the coefficients, that gives us a 6. Root 5 times root 5 gives me a 5. And then 2 root 5 times 4 gives me an 8 root 5. Negative 3 root 5 and a negative 4. So that's 30. And 8 root 5 minus 3 root 5 gives me a 5 root 5 minus 4. So that altogether gives me a 26 plus 5 root 5. Mental check. Can we simplify the surds? Can we combine it anymore? No, we're good. Let's move on. So B, let's look at expanding 2 minus root 7 all squared. Now this looks like the pattern over the a minus b all squared. It looks like that pattern, so we can use that one. Or if you don't like it, if you don't remember that pattern, that's fine, just use the FOIL method. But let's just use the pattern. So a minus b all squared is a squared, so it's 2 squared, minus 2 lots of a, which is 2 lots of b, which is root 7, and then you have to add on b squared, which is root 7 all squared. So simplifying, 2 squareds are 4, minus 4 root 7 plus a root 7 squared gives me a 7. So in case you haven't realized, the square root of any number all squared gives you that number inside the square root, the surd. Simplifying, we get 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 minus 4 root 7. Mental check. Can we simplify the surd anymore? Can we gather any more like terms? No, we're done. Let's move on. So C, let's do another one. 3 root 2 plus 5 root 3 all squared. So this is the which one is it? So it's the something all squared, and it's something, it's the first thing plus the second thing. So it's an a plus b all squared. So you can use the pattern of a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, or if in doubt, just use the FOIL method and it will work for you. You know what, let's try to use the FOIL methods. Let's say for in the exam you forgot the pattern of a plus b all squared. What do? Well, we can just use the FOIL method. So something all squared means is 3 root 2 plus 5 root 3 multiplied by itself. So we can do the FOIL method. So the first term, so 3 root 2 times 3 root 2 plus outer, which is 3 root 2 times 5 root 3, and inner, 5 root 3 times 3 root 2, and your last term, which is 5 root 3 times 5 root 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, root 2 times root 2 is 2, plus 3 times 5 is 15, root 2 times 3 is root 6, 5 times 3 is 15, root 3 times 2 is root 6, 5 times 5 is 25, and a root 3 times root 3 is a 3. Simplifying, we have 18 plus 2 15s gives me a 30 root 6, and 25 times 3 gives me a 75. So gathering like terms, that gives me a 93 plus 30 root 6. Mental check, can you simplify it? No? Alright, move on. If you used the pattern of a squared plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, you could literally just jump to this line here and avoid the top 2 lines. But, you know, in an exam you may or may not remember the pattern. If in doubt, just use the for method. Let's do one more. D, let's go 7 root 2 minus root 3 times 7 root 2 plus root 3. Again, if you don't recognize the pattern, if in doubt, just use FOIL. You will still get the same answer. It might just take a little bit longer. But if you do see the pattern, it's a minus b times a plus b, which is the third pattern that we've got, which tells us the answer would be a squared minus b squared. So let's use the pattern. So our a is 7 root 2, our b is a root 3. Let me just make that pretty. That's a plus. So by a pattern, it's a squared minus b squared. So that's 7 root 2 all squared minus root 3 all squared. Now 7 root 2 squared, 7 squared is 49, times root 2 squared gives me 2, minus root 3 squared, which is 3. So double 49 gives me 98, minus 3, which gives me 95. So if in doubt, use FOIL. But if you do remember the 3 funky patterns, the square patterns, then go for it and use it as well. So to-do list, exercise 3D, page 184, simple familiar. Some complex familiar. And that's it. Have fun.